Hello and welcome to the message of the song. It's where I take the lyrics of a song, show you the lyrics, read the lyrics, and tell you what that song has meant to me. The message that song gives. You know, the same song could bring a different message to different people. So I'd like to share with you a song that has meant so much through the years to me, written by Greg Long. It's called 15. So let me share that with you. I was sitting at the table as the waitress took my order. In her eyes, I knew that something wasn't right. And before I saw it coming, I was caught up in her story of the storms that she had weathered in her life. My friend said, "Can we pray for you?" And she said, "I think I'd like you to." She walked away, we bowed our heads, and then he turned to me and said, so the first verse. That first verse means a lot to us because a number of years ago, my wife and I started doing just that. We started in a restaurant, many restaurants, not every time, but when we feel on our heart and feel led to, we'll turn to the waiter, the waitress, the server, and when they say, "Is there anything," after they take our order, they usually say, "Is there anything else I could do for you today?" I usually stop and say, "Yes, there is one more thing. My wife and I are just about ready to pray for our meal. Is there anything we could pray for you about?" I'm going to tell you, it's amazing the wonderful things that's happened through the years when we've done that. We have had waiters and waitresses say, "No, I don't think there's anything," and just pass it on. And then we've had several of them that would say, "Yes, my grandmother is sick. I'm going through a divorce. My baby is sick." I had one waitress says, "I just found out I had cancer." In that moment, rather than waiting to satisfy my need for food and see what kind of food I'm going to get, but in that moment to think of others and just ask that simple question, "Is there anything I could pray with you about?" The doors have opened. One time we prayed with this guy, and as we were walking out the door, he ran to us just to be able to shake my hand, and with tears in his eye, thanked me for taking the time to pray for him. This song goes on to say in the chorus, "If it takes 15 times to hear about Jesus for someone to believe, wherever I stand in line, I've got to make a difference. If it comes down to me, because I may be third, I may be seventh. There may be years in between, but what if I'm 15? What if I'm 15? Second verse tells us this: just a chapter in a story, with the ending still unwritten. Do they find the truth of Jesus after all? As I listen for the whispers and I follow where he leads me, I pray that I will be faithful to the call. If I'm who I'm supposed to be, I know that God can work through me. I may not understand it now, but I do believe somehow. You see, through the years, I have looked around and see who God has put in my path. And I try not to lose those opportunities because you don't get those back. There's times that God has orchestrated to people to be in front of me, in a restaurant, beside me, sitting in an airplane seat on a flight, a happen chance meeting. And I realized that as I prayed to be faithful to his call, put me where I'm supposed to be, because I may be right where God has me. Because after all, the Course says this: if it takes 15 times to hear about Jesus, for someone to believe wherever I stand in line, I've got to make a difference in case it comes down to me. Because I may be third, I may be the seventh, there may be years in between. What if I'm 15? What if I'm 15? God, I don't want to miss the chances when you open the doors. What may seem so insignificant, you see so much more. If it takes 15 times to hear about Jesus, for someone to believe wherever I stand in line, I've got to make a difference in case it comes down to me. Because I may be the third, I may be the seventh, there may be years in between. But what if I'm 15? What if I'm 15? Hey, thanks for joining me today for the message of the song. Keep coming back and check out my other videos, and I will see you next time. Thank you.